So hey, what's going on? Scruggs here. I'm sitting here doing this edit on this video, and I just want to say this video is purely for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a professional bricklayer. I don't, know anything about bricklaying, except for what I have done in the past, which was a long time ago, and it was just fixing some stuff just like I'm doing now. But this is a bigger job, and yeah, so this is basically just to show that just because you look at videos on YouTube and can figure out how to do something, it does not make you a professional by any means. Now, I did this basically because I can't afford somebody to come out here and do this for me. This video took a period of over almost 3 weeks, and it was due to different things, weather and all that kind of stuff. But I did do it myself. Now, whether or not it's 50% right, whether or not it's 25% right, it doesn't matter to me. It works. It did what I wanted it to do, and it's, it might fall apart in a week. I don't think it is, but I just wanted to put this out there that I'm not a professional. Everything that I looked at was on YouTube and Google, and basically this is just me fixing a problem that I had with my steps. The whole bottom piece totally broke off in like 4 or 5 different sections. Then once I got in there, it turned out to be something that I did not even think was, I don't know. I've never seen anybody in the videos that I looked at lay brick like what was done. If you have any comments, or if you're a bricklayer by trade, and I'm just curious to know if anybody has ever seen anybody build steps like what I have. I don't know. But anyway, entertainment purposes only, not a professional. If you make it through the whole video, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to cut this down. Right now, I've got it down to an hour. So, and that's with a lot of fast forwarding. I appreciate you watching. If you did watch the whole video, or even if you just watched any of it. But yeah, if you're a bricklayer, don't give me too hard of a time. But I'm kind of curious to know if you've ever seen anybody build steps like what I have. This house was built in 93, 94, something in that neighborhood. And so yeah, appreciate it. Let's start the video. So hey, what's going on? Scruggs here. Gonna start a project today. I'd rather be fishing, but this week they're calling for awesome weather for pretty much a whole week, and hopefully within this week I'm going to get some fishing done. But this is priority, and I'm going to have to do this in stages because of my back. But yeah, show you what we got going on here. Yeah, working on my steps. We had a pretty bad snow, ice, blizzard, storm, whatever you want to call it. And during that time, as you can see here, my bottom step is broke loose. So we're going to attempt to fix all this. This one is cracked here. It's not moving, so I think this one is okay. But as you can see, we got some areas that need some attention, and that's what we're tackling. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm just I'm just a guy who cannot afford to pay somebody to do this kind of stuff. So I have to research and figure out if it's something that I can do and do it myself. I have done this kind of thing before. I've not done a whole step, and I'll show you what I've done. If you look around the steps there, and I'm going to take care of some of that. You see some cracking and all. Well, if you see those nice even spaces there, well, if you come around here, yeah, this is what I had to fix a long time ago. And as you can see, it's not professional. You know, you got some wide spaces. So, and these bricks had actually broke off due to the same reason. You know, these steps are 35 years old. So, I'm just doing a patch job. Basically, that's all I'm doing. Like I say, not a professional. So, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of things I'm going to do wrong, but this is how I'm going to do it. And I just thought I'd post it just for some content. So maybe it'll help somebody out. But like I say, this is not going to be a pretty job. I don't care about pretty. I'm staying in this house till the day I die. So, you know, yeah. So let's get started. I'm going to grind out the areas because I kind of want to do this all at one time. But I'm going to do the grinding first on the bricks, and then we're going to come down and take care of this last. But it's going to be the first thing that we're actually going to cement, and then we're going to come back and fill in the cracks last. So we're going to work one way and then come backwards is what we're going to do. So let me go get some tools. I got some tools over here to kind of start the job that I think that I'm going to need. I got a isolating Dremel tool here, and I got these off of Amazon, but I don't know. I think I may have gotten scammed. It says here, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm gonna try to get it in focus. If I can, I'll get you a picture of it. But it says that it's made for mortar, concrete, tile, and grout. Now, it's my understanding from what I have previously done that you need diamond blades, and these say carbide on them. So I don't know if they're going to work or not. Why is this not focusing? There we go. Yeah, these are carbide. So, and the only reason I bought these is to get in the area where the steps meet right here, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get my, that is a actual diamond carbide blade on that. That's a 4-inch grinder. I've also got me a level. I've got me a longer level. Got me some work gloves. Got me a vacuum. Got another level and a whisk broom. And I think that's what we're going to need to start off with anyway. Okay, so I found a little trowel. I think they call this thing a point tucking tool. I also got me a bucket, my Bass Pro cushion there for some back support as I do this, and just a little comfort when sitting on these steps and grinding this stuff out. So all right, let's continue on. So I have glasses. These glasses are actually ones that I had made for work. And I actually wear them all the time now. But they are break resistant, impact resistant. I'm not gonna wear a mask, though I highly recommend it. Like I say, I'm not a professional, but I have a hard enough time breathing as it is, much less with a mask on. So it definitely eye protection, mask, highly recommend. All right, let's get going. Like I say, I've got a diamond blade, but so yeah, like I say, I did a good job getting down in there, but look at this blade. Yeah, it's pretty well wore out. This is what it looks like. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is using the die grinder to grind these areas out, and then save these for doing this area up here, which is what my game plan was, but I just wanted to see if it would hold up. But as far as I'm concerned, these are not made for concrete masonry like it says. So yeah, I'll use it. I mean, I'll keep using it until I can't get nothing out of it, but yeah, I'm kind of a little disappointed in that. I do not know why this thing is not focusing. So yeah, I really can't recommend these. And when you do this, you gotta watch that you don't get down into your other brick and cut your other brick. Yeah, see, that's the only thing I don't like about this grinding wheel. I just got into that brick right there. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to go through all these, and the ones that look like they're getting loose or need some attention, we're just going to basically cut out a little bit, and we're going to come back. Like that one, we'll have to take care of that one. Those two don't look too bad. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to do every single one of these, just the ones that look like they need attention. So yeah, we'll bring you back after I get all this done. Like I said, this is a very tedious job, but you know, I've got all week, so we'll let you know how long it takes me to do this. But you can't really base it on me because my back's already bothering me, and I ain't even done one brick. All right, thanks. So I'm still using that same blade. Of course, a lot of the stuff that I did up there, I used the 4-inch grinder, but I got a feeling that today this blade is going to be done. I guess for what I paid for them, it's not bad. I wish I had 2 more like that though, but we'll just have to work with what we got. I got me a little, because this ground is still wet. Well, I should say damp. It's not wet. So I got me a tarp and just folded it up there, and got the old Bass Pro. So yeah, we're gonna get to, you can see there's a couple of areas. There's one there, maybe that one right there. But like I say, all of them are up and down. I don't think left or right. And you can see where I did the steps before. That's kind of what we're looking for there. That little piece right there, that's not concrete. Oops, sorry. At the top there, that's something that I must have used for like a quick fix, because that stuff is hard. It's like super hard. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, basically this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to try to get both sides done. So this right side wasn't that bad. I really didn't have anything to do over here. There's one place right there, and there really isn't a lot in between those two, so I don't know. This is going to be nasty. I'm thinking about, it's almost dinner time. I'm thinking about waiting until tomorrow to do this, but I think I want to go ahead and at least get this peeled back and see what's under it, which means we're not going to be able to use the steps after that. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. I got to get a hat though. It's sun's beating down on me. Pull y'all off of here because I'm going to take some pictures as I go along. Yeah, this doesn't look good. There's like gaps everywhere. There again, people that did this house did a really shoddy job. Of course, you know, first time home buyers, we were just excited to get a house. But, and there again, you know, the steps are 30 years old, 35 almost. So, but still, somebody did some really crappy work. So, check this out. I don't know. I ain't never seen nobody in my research do anything like what I'm seeing. Look at the holes. Feeling I may have bit off more than what I can chew on this. We're gonna have to get all this cleaned up and reassess and scrape some brick. I'll tell you, it almost looks like I was gonna say it almost looks like that second step is kind of bowing in the middle, but I don't know. I guess first thing to do is get all this mess cleaned up and then go from there. I might just shove all this crap in these holes. That's just, I don't know. I don't know anything about building steps, but in the videos that I've seen, that don't look right. All right, I'm gonna get this cleaned up. This is gonna take a while, and I'm probably gonna call it a day. So I'm sitting here vacuuming my mess up here, and my hose keeps getting clogged up on my vacuum. But this is what I've noticed. Look down there. Is that reflection? That's water. So I think what I'm gonna do, I don't know. I was thinking about just taking all this stuff and just dropping it in there, but now I'm wondering if that's gonna make the water rise and I end up with a bigger problem. The reason it's got water under it is because of the way they graded this yard when they built this house. Another thing they didn't do, I mean, you can look and see that all of the water runs, and it does, it sets, you know, I usually have about an inch and a half of water when we get a heavy rain all up through here, and the yard needs to be regraded, but you know, that's just more money, and I'm not doing that. Yeah, because that looks like that could be a problem with that water. The thing is, if I suck it out, it's just going to come right back. So I don't know, maybe I ought to just dump this stuff in there, and then as the water comes up, just suck the water out. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I might do. I just ain't never seen anybody lay brick like that, not to build steps with. Alright, we'll let you know what I figure out. I've never seen anybody build steps like this on YouTube anyway. So, and then that's where I get a lot of my information from, that and Google, when I have to do something by myself. So this is what we got in cleanup so far. I still got a ways to go, but let me explain what I'm going to do. So this is what I've got. I'm not sure why these pockets are on each side, but it looks like they used part cinder block and sand. This light stuff right here is sand. The darker parts, you know, down here and up here appear to be some kind of concrete block. So I decided not to fill in the water area down there, and what I'm gonna end up doing is, I still have to clean. All of this is stuff that's not coming off very easily, so I'm gonna have to take the grinder and grind all of this off. Now all of these stones right here, all these bricks, they don't move. They're pretty much set, all these bricks. So I'm just going to clean the tops off of them, and the face surface of those that are there, like like this here and this here. I'm gonna have to clean all that off. And I'm gonna take concrete mix and I'm gonna pour in these holes. And then what I might do is mix up concrete and put in between all these crevices that's open. And I'm not sure why they laid the brick like this, but anyway, and in these pockets right here, I think I'm just gonna try to fill in as much as I can, let it dry for one day, and then come back in and fill in some more. I don't know. The thing is, I'm sure they did the pockets for a reason, but I don't know why. So I hate to fill them in. If nothing else, maybe I'll fill in like a layer, even with this brick in there. But that's my game plan at this point. I still got a lot of cleaning to do as far as on these bricks. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is just do small batches and lay, like, you know, a certain amount of bricks. And then a certain amount of bricks, and do it in small increments. But yeah, welcome to my world. Things never turn out like you think they're going to turn out. I thought this was just going to be a simple, you know, clean the bricks and put them together, but this turns out to be a big fiasco, which is always what happens with me. So anyway, that's where we're at. I tell you, I just don't, things always seem to go wrong. So the weather person, nice all week, all weekend till next Tuesday, and maybe even after that into next week. Awesome. This job's gonna go good. I got basically a whole week to do what I need to do. Nice weather. Rechecked it yesterday because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave all my stuff outside. No. Freaking rained last night. Rained this morning. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I didn't cover anything up. So all my electrical stuff, my grinder, all that stuff got soaked. So I spent this morning, sorry about my hand there, spent this morning drying everything out and putting everything back in my canopy shed in the wheelbarrow. And I'm like, you know, I guess it's my own fault for not putting stuff back, but you know, when you take faith in the weather person to know what they're talking about, nothing about rain until this morning. And I got up and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I cut the weather on and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get 20% chance of rain this morning. And I'm like, what about yesterday? Y'all didn't know that yesterday, really? And instead of being like in the high 70s, it's 40. Yeah. So anyway, I'm on my way to Home Depot to get 2 bags of water mix, and I'm going to dry pour the stuff in, and then just kind of go from there. They're calling for rain all day tomorrow now. So once I do this, I'm going to have to put a tarp over it, but depending on how much rain we get, it's probably still going to get water in it because there's no step there now. So, yeah. Just kind of put a damper in the way things wanted to go. But that's the game plan anyway. So once I get back home with this mortar mix, we'll see how things go. It appears that these bags are about 80 pounds a piece. So I'm only going to get 2, and I'm going to see what 2 does. Then we'll go from there. So yeah, stick around. So half an hour later, inside Home Depot, I tell you what, just about 80% of the bags of cement mix in there were hard as a rock. I bet I had to go through 12 bags just to find 3 that were okay. And I'm not real sure about 1. And of course, all the ones in the floor were all the wet ones. Well, I should say wet. They weren't wet. I guess at one time they were wet and they got dry because they were hard as a brick. And one of them, I ended up getting 3 because I was like, I don't want to have to go through this again. So, yeah, I got 3 bags, 2 of which may be good. The other one I'm not real sure about. Maybe part of a bag. But anyway, on a good note, the sun has come out. So, yeah, I'm going to go home, get this mix poured in these holes, and see if maybe I can get some grinding done on some brick. Alrighty, we'll be back. Alrighty, so we got our mortar mix. Got me a little cup there. And you can see the water down in there. We're just going to sprinkle it on in. Let me switch hands here. And we're just going to do this. And fill in all these holes that have water in them. Yeah, so we'll bring you back when I'm done. So yeah, just took my little screwdriver and stirred it up, and yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're just going to continue to do this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to add, I'm going to mix some up, and I'm just going to drop the mix in there. So yeah, we're going to continue on. Alrighty. As you can see, we have no water showing. So now I'm going to come back and I'm just going to make some small batches. There's a little hole right there that's got some in it, but I'm not going to try to push any down through there because these bricks are in pretty good. That was a little loose, but I'm going to come back now and I'm just going to that brick there I just put up, keep animals from getting in there last night. I'm going to come in and fill these gaps with mortar mix. I'm not going to clean these bricks off yet. I'm going to mix up some stuff, put in those cracks, and then I'm going to come back and clean these bricks after I do that. Whether or not that'll happen today, I don't know, but that's the game plan anyway. I'm going to mix this mortar mix up in small amounts in a bucket. Alright, yeah. Threw a few more handfuls in there, and I think this looks about what I want. Not as soupy. Got a little staying power. Yeah. Alrighty. So this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna spoon this in here like this. And I'm doing this one-handed, so once I get the rolling, but this is just to show y'all what I'm doing. And anything that's on the brick, I can take my little scraper tool here and just scrape in there. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to fill in all these areas just like this. So we'll bring you back when I'm done. So here's how the first batch went. It's not pretty, but you know what? I don't care. Alright, we are calling it a day. Today, I did get some up in them holes. It's kind of hard to see. I can't bend over right now, but yeah, a little bit in there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to cover this up because it's calling for rain tomorrow. And yeah, we'll continue on in a couple of days. Today is just going to be grinding these bricks down. So this is what I had to do yesterday, or for yesterday, because it was drizzling. You can still see the ground, sidewalks damp. Of course, we don't get any sun over here. You can see the sun shining. It's really nice today. But yeah, so we're just going to peel this back in case it does rain. And I got my grinder, pair of gloves. I gotta go get my extension cord. We're just gonna sit on this bucket and grind all these bricks down. Yeah, I need to get all that stuff off of them. Yeah, so it's probably gonna take a while. A lot of dust. I might have to get a mask for this. I'm gonna see how it pans out. So stick around. Well, actually, I just did this one brick, but I forgot to hit the record button. So I'm going to do this second brick right here, just to show y'all how this blade works. And then I'm not going to show y'all doing all these bricks. I mean, there's no sense in all that. But I'll show you this one anyway, how this blade works. This is just a rigid blade, 4-inch. Fits on a grinder, 4-inch grinder is what it is. It is a diamond blade. Make sure you wear gloves, especially if you don't have a guard. This was given to me. It didn't come with a guard, but I know it's supposed to have one. And that's kind of basically all. Well, making my saw tank. That's basically all it is too. I am going to mark these with a marker to show where they are, because I'm going to be handling them, turning them upside down and stuff, and I just want to make sure that I get them back in the same place as they were before. So I'm not going to show y'all cleaning all this and doing all this and everything. Y'all get the idea. We'll bring you back when I get all this stuff. See, it makes a mess. It makes a big mess. And get this all vacuumed up and everything after I get it done. Stick around. So hey, what's going on? Going out here to work on these steps some more. I'll tell you what, this has been a pain in the butt. Just because of the weather and everything. I started this project on March 5th. Today's the 21st. Since then we've had rain, snow, storms. It's just been one thing after another. I was laid up a whole week because of my back. So this is kind of where we're at. So I kind of did a mock-up this morning, and that brick right there, one with the 3 holes in it, actually came off of this brick right here, that 3 brick. It goes on the bottom back side of that, and then it came off. So this is kind of where my mock-up is, and you can see that the steps have actually, I thought it was bowing in the middle. I mean, you can look at it and see with the spacing in between this end brick, and as you go down, and then it comes back up. But you know, ain't much I can do about that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're gonna lay these down, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna lay these, I'm gonna call them top pieces, down. So this is the part I've kind of never really done before. Like I say, I've kind of done that stuff there with the cracks in between, and I mean, as you can see on that front step there, I had to do all those front steps, and it's not pretty. I don't care. Let me go get me a bag, and we're gonna see if we can. I'm gonna start with that bottom row in the back, and then I'm gonna set the ones on top, go across and see if I can get them pretty even, and then we'll even up everything else. So yeah, how not to lay bricks. So I got me this container here from Harbor Freight. I got me a 60-pound bag of mortar mix, and I'm just got me a 5-gallon bucket with some water there, and I'm just kind of mixing this up by hand. Probably should have gotten one of those little tools you put on the end of a drill, but I don't like spending money unless I have to, so I'm just doing it by hand. I'm trying to get this done before it gets too hot. It was like 40 last night, and it's supposed to get up in the 80s. So yeah, we're just mixing this up, and I'll bring you back when we get it to a good consistency. Alrighty, I think I got this about where I want it. I don't know if it's right or not, but this is what we're going with. I need something. I really would like it a little bit thicker, so that because I need to put some up on this area here, and I'm going to need it to stick. But it seems like the more I work it, the thinner it gets. And I really don't want to bust open another bag just because I think this here is going to do what I need it to do. But it's like, see, that's pretty good. I can deal with that. All right, so we'll start laying some of this stuff. I'm going to see if I can get y'all in an area where y'all can see me. tell you what, that batch that I made was a little too thick. I actually found that you kind of want this kind of soupy, and I understand the reason why now, and I just kind of wanted to share this because it started to stiffen up on me, and I hadn't been out here all that long, but this is what I've gotten done. I kind of laid those, and I was trying to get everything perfect and all, and I found out that you really can't do that. You kind of just have to, you know, like this area here where it meets and in between, and I was trying to do it as I was going along. That's not the way to do it. So as you can see, this is kind of soupy now. I mean, it's just kind of, it doesn't stick. I thought it needed to stick, and I've added some water to this to kind of loosen it up a little bit. You can see down there, but you have to like do this all in one step. Now that right there, I kind of wanted to get that corner level before I went any further, and because that's kind of what I'm going to work off of. And you can see that, you know, we ain't looking for perfection, but we're looking for close. And side to side is looking pretty good. So what I did was I just laid this whole section down all in one piece, as you can see here. And I kind of, that bottom brick right there, I didn't have to do anything with. That was oh no, I did. Okay, well anyway, I'm coming off of that brick there, and so far all of these are level, and this is a little bit higher than this brick, but that's kind of what I'm working off of. I'm working off of that one, and you can see that I'm fairly level. I'm not 100%, but you know, I'm not looking for 100%. If I go by that brick there, and that's really not going to make a lot of difference because I still got all this to fill in. This is what we're looking like now. Well, we're still not too bad. I mean, it's pretty centered, so. And see what I was doing, I was laying each brick and then coming, I would like lay this brick and I'd come in and I'd fill all this section in right here and this and try to get it all perfect. And you can't really do that. Just lay your brick down. Like I just laid all these down in a matter of a minute. I've probably been working on that for an hour. So I'm getting ready to lay this last brick, and that one fits in there pretty good. And then I can start putting these on. Now these I have to be a little bit, you know, I'll kind of try to get this, but like I said, with this being a little bit soupier, it's actually easier to work with. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Like I said, I'm not a brick masonry by any means, but the thing is they say you got about 2 hours working time with this, and I've already got about an hour in. So I'm trying to, I don't want to waste anything if I don't have to. Alright, so I'll bring you back. That's what we're looking like though. Here's an example of this stuff being thinner. See how it's, you can actually mold it up in there. This is that section that was all broke out where they had those cinder blocks in there. And see, you can, let me switch hands here. With it being more loose, get you in the frame here, it'd help. With it being more loose, you can work with it better. I'm just kind of filling in that gap there, but you see it's got more staying power. It stays up on there, because if you remember, that section was pretty was back up in there. So now I'm getting ready to lay these down. And yeah, we're getting there. Alrighty, I got those others laid in. I'm getting ready I got my little thing here, sponge with some water, and I kind of have a problem here. There's no backing where that hole is right there, so I kind of filled it in a little bit, but it keeps falling in right there. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is come back and fill that in later. And I'm just kind of cleaning up a little bit here because things got kind of junky in that area, trying to lay some stuff down in that hole. So yeah, it ain't pretty, but my back's about ready to give out on me, so I don't know. I was hoping to get all this done. Today, but I don't think so. That's kind of thin right there. I kind of thinned it out a little too much, but all I got is the big pieces in this little section here. So I don't know, I might take a break, see how I feel, and come back out here in a little bit. But yeah, it's getting there. It ain't pretty, but it'll serve its purpose. Yeah, and I'll come back in, fill these in later when I do these. I'm just trying to get this section here all straight. So alrighty, stick around. Alrighty, so I thought I would do another mock-up, and everything's looking okay except for got a heck of a gap right there, and I don't understand why, because it's even with the steps right there. I don't know, but that's a hell of a gap. So I'm not really sure. The thing is, if I do something to move it down this way, I'm gonna have a heck of a gap here. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to fill it all in. I'm not real crazy about that, but I don't know what else to do. Alright, be back. Alrighty, so it's another day today. Hopefully this is going to be the last day of these steps. I cut it short yesterday. I'll say I cut it short. I could have probably finished yesterday, but we've been stuck in the house for so long, and the wife wanted to go out, so we got together with her sister and nephew and his new girlfriend and went out to eat. So yeah, hopefully today is gonna be it. I'm kind of tired of this thing getting delayed because of weather and my back and all that. So this is the last bag of concrete mix I got. Let's see if I can mix this up correctly and save me some time and hassle. I'm just going to take it slow, kind of get it into a peanut butter state is kind of what I'm looking for. So this is where we're at. These two bricks right here, they go, I don't know if you can see a little blue mark there. That brick goes under there, and then this brick goes under that piece. So I'm going to lay those first, then do this one. I guess I'm just going to have to fill that gap in right there. I don't know how that got like that, but it is what it is. I mean, as you can see, I got a hell of a gap right there on that one where I did those steps. It really doesn't matter much to me as long as it works. So yeah, I'm gonna get this mixed up and we're gonna go from there. I'll get y'all set up and show you how it goes. see, I've kind of gotten all the bricks down here on the bottom done. Kind of got the wide gaps all filled in. I'm working on these now. I just get a little bit there and just kind of sink it in. I'm gonna take this little tool here. And what we'll do is, once we get all this done, we come back with a sponge and smooth this all out. Sponge, it's got water in it, or water on it, a wet sponge. And we smooth it over. But this is one I did earlier. I need to put some on the front here. That's kind of what we're doing. I got all these to do, but that's pretty much. Once this dries for a little bit, like maybe 20 minutes or something, we'll come back with a sponge and go over top of it. Alrighty, stick around. Alright, we got a wet sponge in our bucket here, and we just want to rinse it out really, really good. And then we're just gonna go over this. And it just kind of smooths everything out. And then you can come back, fix whatever imperfections that you might have. And that's pretty much all it is to it. Still got that one to do right there, but rinse your sponge out and then just come back and go over it again. And that's what you get. And depending on how perfect you want it to be, just keep going over it and over it. And like I say, you can come back, like this little place right here. I'll have to come back and hit that again. Just kind of fill it in, or you can smooth it over just like that. Alrighty, I'll wait for that to harden up a little bit. And that's kind of about it. I'll bring you back when we get it all done. So hey, what's going on? It's another day, but we got this all done. So this is what we look like. I'll show y'all. And I got it done yesterday, but I was just so wore out, my back was just killing me. So this is what it looks like. Final product, except I'll power wash it after a couple of days. But yeah, check it out. Yeah, I got the places there. Like I say, it's not professional by any means, but it's gonna have to do, because that's all I can afford. There's the section there on the sides. My wife's probably gonna complain about that because I didn't really get that cleaned up. My back was killing me at this point, but it is what it is. So we're gonna give it a few days. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm just glad it's over with. Alrighty, appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Till next time.